Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Thursday, and it is time for Moment of Presence. So, I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and I am so glad that you are here to join me today. We are going to be talking about anger. We all feel it, things bubble up, and sometimes they spill over. And I had a situation probably about a year ago where this really came it really came up for me in a very powerful way. And I was going to uh, meet a friend, and we were going to talk some things out, which is a good thing. And I showed up in love. I meditated beforehand. I journaled. I think I even segment intended. And if you don't know what that is, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. I really wanted to set myself up or ourselves up for success in this conversation, whatever happened. And the conversation took a turn that I had not anticipated. And what I've learned now, that if I had known then, uh, was the, and I did, but I'm really much better at it now, was the power of a pause. Taking a moment to take a breath and remember that the person sitting on the other side in front of me, on the phone, wherever they may be for you, but in this situation, sitting on the other side of me, was born an innocent person, an innocent being, born pure. And the person sitting in front of me was not that same person because of what life had done to them and what they had encountered. But instead of taking that pause, instead of taking that moment to remember, I reacted. And we've talked about this before, right? Reacting versus responding. And I reacted. Now, I stayed much calmer in the situation than the other person. And I kept trying. I kept trying to make the conversation better. I kept trying to make it work. I kept trying to people please. And instead of sticking up for myself, I was trying to fight for a relationship that the other person was not fighting for. And what ended up happening is it boiled over. And the person ended up walking away, yelling. I walked away, got in the car, tears, right, from frustration, not feeling understood or being misunderstood. It was a long-standing relationship that ended. And it's probably the best for both sides, because sometimes you can love somebody from afar. If you're not getting along, it's okay. It's okay to love or respect or wish the other person well. And it's okay to not get along. And I think that we try so hard to force relationships, because we think that's what matters. And I say this all the time, especially to my mom, actually. She's from the day and age where it's quantity over quality. And I very much believe that it's quality over quantity. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about anger. So, in that moment when I got so angry and I went in the car and I was so frustrated and the tears just started pouring out, a lot of it was because I felt blindsided. And I also felt like I blacked out. And I sat in the car until I came back to myself and could calmly drive home. But there was this moment where, when you're in the middle of a discussion, and I'm sure that this has happened to everyone, not just me, when it gets so heated that you don't even remember really what came out of your mouth. And that is a very, very dangerous place to be in, because that's when you can say things that you can never, ever take back. And so when you feel that happening, you take that pause. And sometimes the best thing to do is just say, you know what, we need to reconvene this conversation. It's going down a path that is just, there's no coming back from. Now, I was talking with a friend today about this, and we were saying how, anger can blind you. And my friend was saying that she feels that anger can sometimes help you get more focused. And what was really interesting about that is we took a look at the energy, right, that's happening. So when you're angry and you get blinded and you're saying things that you don't even really mean to say, and sometimes there's some truth to those things that come bubbling up because you've been holding them in for so long, which is a danger that I warn all of you about all the time. Don't keep those emotions hidden and deep and so siloed, because they're going to come out when you least expect it. And so the other way to do it is to take that anger, that energy of the anger, and apply it into something productive. So that would look like removing yourself from the situation, right? Because you don't want to lose the anger and go dark, right? Just forget where you are and what you're doing and what you're saying. But to remove yourself and go do something that you can put your energy into, whether it's to work on a situation or it's to remove yourself completely from anything about that situation and do something completely different. And this happens a lot, especially those moms out there, those wives and husbands. It's everybody, I think. We get really, really upset about something, and I usually take it out on the laundry machine, on the washing machine. And what I'll do is I'll get into housework and I'll take my clothes and I put them in the washer, and then I'm like, there's some dirt around the edges. And so then I'm cleaning, and then all of a sudden I'm noticing that I'm like hyper focused on how clean the washing machine is. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I need to go over to the dryer, and I need to like look at the lint drawer. And then all of a sudden I'll have to vacuum. And so sometimes we can take that energy and we can put it into something productive. And then we can like look around and go like, okay, I accomplished something. It doesn't fix the situation, but it fixes our energy in that moment. Because remember, everything we talk about emotional liberation and emotional intelligence is really about ourselves. How can we be in control of our emotions? We cannot control anyone else's emotions, their ideas, their choices. We can't choose for them. We can't be them for them. We can't. It's not our place. It's also not our place to judge other people. So in the situation of the example I'm giving you, I can't judge how that person wants to live. They're living their life their way. It may not be the way that I would live it, and the way I'm living is not the way that they would live it. And it's okay to not agree. It's okay to be different. And in today's world, there seems to be this, well, you have to believe my way. I have to believe this way, or you have to believe me, or you need to do this because I said so. But that's not life. We're our own individual people, and we're going to have our own thoughts and our own feelings. We're all unique in that way. And it's more, what can we add to the relationship? But when our differences are actually taking away from each other, then that's probably the time to think about walking away. Again, you can love somebody from afar, You can like someone from afar, but you don't have to be in each other's worlds if you're constantly butting heads, because that is not healthy for anybody. So, what can we do with that anger? Where does that come from? Is it about the other person's choices? Are we having a temper tantrum? Is our little inner child having a temper tantrum because they're not getting their way or because they're not being agreed with? Where is that anger coming from? And this is when I tell everyone, get curious. So let's practice that now, as we always do in our breathing. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths, and I'm going to kind of walk you through a little exercise that I like to take clients through. So I want you to take a deep breath in and then hold it and then exhale, and just feel your nerves and all of your frustrations and just everything from the day relaxing and calming as you breathe out. And take another deep breath in and hold it. And then slowly exhale. Now, this time, I want you to bring into mind a situation that got out of hand, unemotionally, no judging. Just think about that situation, whatever it was the last time you lost your temper. Big deep breath in and hold it. And then exhale. And I want you to get curious. And as you breathe in, ask, what was that really about? Deep breath in. And hold it. What was that anger about? Where did it come from? Exhale. Sometimes answers will come to you. Sometimes they'll come to you after the fact. You're taking a shower later tonight, it'll pop in your head. Big deep breath in. Hold and ask, was it my anger? Was it my anger? Exhale slowly. And then this time, I want you to breathe real deep in. Bring up if there's any lingering feelings of that anger that came up before. And just, I want you to exhale like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Now, you can do this anytime you're in a situation, right? You could be on a meeting. You could be in a situation physically with somebody else, and you can take a deep breath in. You can actually say to somebody, I need a minute. You can remove yourself, go to the restroom, walk around, pace a little bit, exert some of that energy so that it's not all at the forefront in your heart, weighing on you, so that you can think more clearly. And you can take yourself through these questions. I personally like to start with, is it mine? Because if it's not my anger and I'm just picking up someone else's energy, then I can return it to sender. Literally, I return this with love to the sender. And then you just send it right back. I know this sounds a little crazy to some, but if you try it, you'll be pleasantly surprised at how it works and how effective it is. So you just take a deep breath in, just return to sender with much love. Because it's not yours. So you don't have to process anything because it's not yours in the first place. Now, if you're in a heated argument, you can, take your deep breath. What's more important? This is another good question. Is it more important for me to win, to be right, or for me to be happy? And that day, if I had asked that question, it may have turned out differently. Now, granted, no regrets here. Things happen for a reason. People come and go into our lives for reasons. And so no questioning about that. Reviewing, like you're watching a movie, is something different because you're reviewing it from a different perspective. And you're looking at what is this supposed to teach me? And that's another really good question. I hope you're writing these down. What is this situation teaching me? What is the lesson that I'm supposed to receive today? So these are really good techniques that you can be using. And you just say them to yourself while you're taking a moment, taking a couple deep breaths. It relaxes you internally because you're having this inner dialogue. And then the answers come up, and then you can apply them as needed. So I don't hope that anyone gets into any arguments anytime soon. But if you do, now you have some techniques and some questions to ask to calm you down and to get really clear about where that anger is coming from. Now, applying that anger, that angry energy, I first would cleanse it. I first would breathe it in and breathe it out and go ground, take a walk, listen to some favorite music. And sometimes I do put on like angry rock, right? Just angry heavy metal. Do, dance around, let that energy out. You ever seen a dog come in and they have to shake? They're shaking their energy off. And so if you can do the same, you're dispelling the energy, right? You're letting it go. And then you can come and be in a more stable place. And then you can respond the way that's appropriate for you. Notice I said appropriate for you, not people pleasing, not doing things because you want to make other people happy. What is the right move? What is the right next move for you? And that's really what this is all about. Is yes, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be times where you lose your shit. And it's okay every now and again. But how do you process it? And the more you practice these type of techniques, the better you're going to get. And you're going to be able to turn it around quicker. So if you're driving and someone cuts you off, instead of yelling and screaming, you might have a moment of, oh my God, I almost got into an accident. You might, say some very colorful words. Then you can go, you know what? Maybe that person's wife is having a baby. Maybe they're a doctor getting to an emergency. Who knows? It doesn't matter. It's not up to you. As long as you didn't get in an accident, isn't that all that really matters? Let them go off and do their thing. Now imagine if we could do that in every situation. So this is the kind of emotional liberation and emotional management that I teach, that I talk about, that I walk clients through. And I love this topic for March because, March, things are springing, it's blossom time, the flowers are blossoming, spring has sprung. And what I want to tell everyone today is I really want to help as many people as I can. And March is here, and I came to a decision that I am going to invite 10 of you to book individual calls, and it will be a free coaching session, no pitching, just a free coaching session. You're going to come to the call with one topic, and I am going to spend 90 minutes with you. 90 minutes coaching. Now, this isn't telling you what to do. This is helping you process whatever situation you're in the moment, or whatever topic is coming up for you, or something that is about to happen that you need help with. Whatever the topic is, you get to decide that, and you get to bring it to the call. So all you have to do is book a call for the March special. And it's the first 10. So first come, first serve. Book your call. Get on the schedule. Make sure that you come with an open mind, an open heart, and that you're ready for a life-changing session with me. I'm going to be direct in a nurturing, loving way, but I'm going to be really honest with you. Our friends and family, we go to them with issues and problems and they want to help us. And sometimes they tell us what they would do, but that doesn't mean that it's what we should do, because we are our own person. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to show you different perspectives of a situation. No, this isn't going to be like, oh, I'm going to show you why you're wrong. No, absolutely not. I'm just going to show you different perspectives of a situation so you can make the right strategic plan on how to manage and deal with that situation that you find yourself in, whatever it may be. So I hope that you found a ton of value. Watch it again if you weren't able to take a bunch of notes. The techniques are amazing and they're wonderful. Give it a shot. And if you don't book the session and you need help, then get curious about that too. Why? Because there's no strings attached. This is just me asking you to allow me to be in service to you. Now, if you feel like writing a review or a testimonial afterwards, then that's all on you. That's all completely up to you if you feel called to do that. So I am looking forward to meeting those 10 amazing people that will be on the schedule for 90 minutes. I look forward to seeing all of you next week. Wednesdays are Strip Down, Heal the Illusion with my co-host, Carrie Lewis. That's Wednesday at 12. And Thursdays at 2, I will see you next week for Moment of Presence. And remember, every day can be your best day or your worst day. It's all about choosing, and you're in control of that choice. So choose wisely. I'll see you next week.